A very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Design Meetup powered by IXDF Kerala and co-sponsored by Experion Technologies. For good design, we need to understand how color choices affect the experience of a user. And for this knowledge about color theory and its relevance, it is very important for a UI designer to know about it. So let's brush up on color theory and color models to enhance the design and make it so that it is not only attractive, but it is also easy for the user to use. Our speaker today, Sachin, is a UI designer. He has over 5 years of experience in the design field. He's from Arakulam, a beautiful place with a lot of greenery nestled in the Idukki district of Kerala. He fell in love with design and he wanted to take up a career which excited him. So art and technology seemed like a great combination for a interesting career for Sachin. So he used to draw and paint a lot, even dabbled a bit in glass painting as well. He enjoys designing social media posts. Along with UI, digital illustrations is Sachin's secret power. So for the ease of a better experience, we've muted the audience mics during the presentation time. Please raise your queries. You can drop in questions in the chat window and we can take it up in the Q&A session after the webinar. We usually have around a half an hour session followed by a Q&A. So during the Q&A, the audience can interact and discuss. You can also share your views. So a recorded version would be available of this webinar on our YouTube channel. So for those of us just joining us, welcome to Colors Can Speak by Sachin Sunny. Over to you, Sachin.
Thank you, Vandana. Hi, I'm Sachin. We are here to talk about color theory. You must be wondering why I choose the topic colors. It's basic stuff. We often forget theories, which are very helpful during color selection, palette creation, and related stuff. So I just turn off my video that I can focus on my presentation. Okay. So are you able to see my screen, Vandana?
Yeah, it's very clear. Please go ahead. It's very clear, Sachin. You can go ahead.
Okay. First, let us start by inspecting the color diagram. Here you can see the color wheel. So before that, what is color theory? Color theory is a set of rules and guidelines which designers use to communicate with users through appealing color scheme in visual interfaces. So we know Sir Isaac Newton established color theory when he invented the color wheel in 1666. Newton understood colors as a human precision, not absolute quality of wavelength of light. By systematically categorizing color, he defined three groups. Those are primary colors, secondary colors, and tertiary colors. Primary colors can be mixed to create all other colors. See, if we know primary colors are yellow, red, blue. See, if we mix yellow to red, we got orange color. Red to blue, we get purple color, and yellow to blue, we get green color. So as a result, we get secondary colors. And tertiary colors created by mixing primary and secondary. See, here we can see if we mix red to orange, we get a red-orange color. So that's how we created tertiary colors. And now we have the basic color wheel. So now let's move to color schemes for design harmony. So we know color wheel is a great reference when you choose an appealing color scheme. Here are some of the most common type of color schemes. First one is monochromatic, analogous, complementary, triadic, and the last tetradic and square color scheme. So the first one is monochromatic color scheme. Monochromatic color scheme are made from a single base hue, not just black and white. Most of the designers think monochromatic is a black and white color, but it's actually not like that. It's a pellet produced from one color. So that's why it's called monochrome. So here you can see an example of a wide variety tin stone shadows of blue. See. So moving to analogous color scheme. So it's nothing but it's just you want to pick 3 colors on the color wheel that are side by side, and that should be your analogous color scheme. They match well together. They create a supreme and comfortable designs. Here you can see in the poster, they choose analogous color scheme for design the poster. So it will make visually more beautiful. So moving to the next color scheme, it is complementary color scheme. So these are the colors sit across from each other on the color wheel. Most common pairs are red-green combination, purple-yellow, orange-blue, etc. So putting these next to each other create a great contrast and visual interest, but they can easily overpower each other. So if we use complementary colors, it is most important to use them carefully. Otherwise, it will affect the design. So here we can see the 2 logos designed by complementary color scheme. So moving to the next one is split complementary color scheme. A split complementary color scheme is similar to complementary color scheme, except one of the colors split into 2 nearby colors. This keeps the high contrast of complementary color scheme, but also add more varieties. See here we can see if we will start with a red color and then with the last minute it will split off one of the right of red direct complement, which means we would use yellow green and blue green. So moving to the next one is triadic color scheme. Triadic color scheme made up of 3 colors that are evenly spaced around the color wheel like a triangle. These color combinations are often bold and vibrant. So these are the example used for a triadic color scheme. So the last one is tetradic and square color scheme. This is nothing but it's just using 4 colors that create a rectangle or a square shape that connects them all. Think of it like 2 sets of a complementary colors being together. Here we can see a screenshot from the animated movie Alice in Wonderland. As you can see here, using the tetradic color scheme. It is designed by a famous American artist and animator, Mary Blair. She designed the character and color combination. So these are the basic color schemes. So now we already talk about all color schemes. So let's move on some basic color terms. So these are the basic color terms. First one is hue, saturation, value, temperature, tint, tone, and shade. Temperature categorized as 2 types, warm colors and cool colors. So moving to the first one is hue. Hue is a purest form of color. It's nothing but it's a name of a color like red, blue, green, yellow, orange, like that. And the next one is saturation. Saturation is the intensity or purity of a hue. If high saturation means that the color is really bright, and if it desaturated means color looks washed out or grayed out. So next one is temperature. Temperature is more about how we perceive the hue that we are seeing, and we tend to divide into 2 categories, warm colors and cool colors. We can see here the pictures. Okay, right. Okay, first one is warm color. Warm colors are the colors that come from increasing the red or yellow tones in a hue. We can see it in the first diagram. These tend to evoke the feeling of passion, coziness, energy, and motion. They remains as sunlight, heat, and often referred to as active colors. So the second one is cool colors. So that are the colors formed from increasing the blue and green. These tend to evoke freshness, winter, stillness, and calming. And they also remain as ice, snow, water, and it tend to be considered as a passive color. So moving to value. Value is a degree of lightness or darkness of a hue. So here on the left, the degree of light is high. On the right hand, degree of the darkness is high. So next one is tint. Tint is a hue produced by adding white. So here we have a variety of blue tint made by mixing the blue with increasing amount of white. So the next term is tone. Tone is the hue produced by adding a gray blue tone made by mixing the blue with increasing amount of gray. Shade is the hue produced by adding black. Blue shade made by mixing of blue with increasing amount of black. Here you can see that. Okay. Now, since we have discussed colors and color schemes and the terms, and we have to know where and how a color can be applied. For this, understanding color psychology is most important. So let us dive in. So here you can see different colors like red, green, yellow, etc. When you see someone wear a yellow dress, you feel like they are very cheerful, positive, and happy. It is same with the sun. Any app you use. Every brands want to make people feel an emotion. Every color has a meaning and has the power to make user feel something. So if you look at red, so if you take Airtel as a brand, they want to be seen as passionate, energetic, power. And if you're looking for orange, which represent confidence, success, bravery, sociability, etc. Here you can see the logo of Nick. It symbolizes youthfulness, activity, energy, and joy. And if you're looking for yellow, which means creativity, happiness, warmth. Snapchat stands for creativity, fun, and happiness. So next one is green. If you look at green, it means nature, wealth, healing, quality. So Starbucks is an example for a green logo. So they want to be as a fresh, good quality brand. So that's why Starbucks choose green color. So let us look few more colors. If you see Cadbury, you quickly recall their color purple. But what does it mean? It's associated with royalty, luxury, like how chocolate feel like. Purple also means ambition, wisdom, soothing, etc. So moving to blue, if you take Dell as a brand, they want to be seen as a technology brand that can be trusted and is dependable. And if you have pink, it means compassion, sweet love. We can see here Barbie wants to be seen as a feminine or sophisticated brand. So that's why they are choosing pink for their brand color. So the last one, we have black, which means darker, means it's a dramatic, security, formality, classic, and elegance. So that's why Adidas choose their brand color as black. Adidas want to be seen as the best and really good quality sports brand. So all this while we have been talking about theories. Application of the color on your daily design task is what matters the most. It is possible to design an entire interface with one single color hue. I will explain how. So I will show you. So first of all, let's draw a first of all, we choose a primary color. So first I draw a rectangle and I choose red color for my primary. Make sure the values are correct. And now I fill with a shape with a hue, red color. So now we added some tint to this color. We already told that tint is added with a hue with a white color. So I duplicate this rectangle. Say make a 10 rectangle, 10 square, sorry. So I apply a 90% opacity to the first rectangle. And the second 80%, third one 70, 60, fifth one 50%, 40%, percentage 20, last I applied 10%. So now we have the red hue. Now we have so many twin swatches. Tint is nothing but it's just added some white color to a red hue. So I got some color swatches tint. So now we have these many tint swatches. As we know, tone is divided from mixture, mixing hue with gray. And I will show how to create tone of red hue. Tone is nothing but just added a gray color to. So before that, I draw a, we need a purest gray color. So I fill the rectangle and duplicate the rectangle, fill with the white color. And I place it over the dark color rectangle. So now we can see a gray color. This is the perfect gray fit for tone. So I just duplicate the first red swatches over to the tone. So now we have different shade of red tones. And the last one is shade. We will get shade by mixing colors with black. So we will make a copy of this tone. And change the gray to black for easiness. So make it 100%. All right. All right, now we know how to create different level of color swatches. So here we can see different, we can create different color swatches from a single color. So that will be helpful to create a website or UI screens within a single color. So Okay. So here is an example for a single color website that's designed by single color tints and shades and tone. So moving to the before that, these are some interesting examples of color UI. These are created by a monochromatic color scheme. So one color is used for create this entire application. One color and its different color palettes. So this is another example. So moving to this, let's talk about some color combination that work and don't work. So first one is similar color ranges. So selecting similar color ranges are differently playing safe, but same time it might be difficult to read. So we must experiment with other colors that suits. So the next one is rainbow blend. So here we can see a good blend and bad blend. So if we see when we are kids, we look to see rainbow. So but when we grow up, we still love it, but on the sky, not on the design. So let's remain this is the sky. So please avoid these rainbow color styles in our designs. So next one is avoid applying overload colors. Some of the designers thinks this is creativity. Simply the combine colors and boom, a masterpiece. Limit your color palettes by learning 60s to 30s to 10 ratio. So the next one is flag colors. We must avoid flag colors from our designs. If you are designed for a flag, it's not a problem. But for a commercial design, never use these. So these are literally so many colors to choose from. So moving to the next one is colorblind intention. There are many types of colorblinds, but let's focus on the usual suspect. It's red and green. We consider never combine them in one design. See here we can see the actual color and how a colorblind user see. So moving to the next one is avoid bright on bright. Contrasting colors are top matches, but if both are bright and same time, they make a terrible combination and it's irritate your eyes. See here we can see the second one is a little bit irritating our eye. So the next one is solid on images or textures. If I put text over the textured image, it is very difficult to read. But I added a color overlay and then place the text over it. It makes readable. So never place a text on image directly. Just add an overlay before that. So how can you find inspiration colors around you? We can find different colors from some photographs and create a mood board. So make your own mood board by collecting photos of things that inspire you or represent a brand. Pinterest and Dribbble, Behance, those are where we can collect different color schemes and create mood boards. So the next one is borrow color patterns from interior design. So it is like from we can borrow it from Scandinavian design, or even Indian interiors. And we can choose colors from nature, but but one really interesting source of a color is its nature. Actually, all the colors that we use for every design come from nature. So the next one is color swatches. We can take inspiration from color from anywhere, a website or interior design, nature, and from there you can create color swatches that will suit different purpose in UI. So next one is match color for your topic. So it's very important. So based what is the purpose and the industry for your app or website, you can look at the color scheme. For example, if it is a health supplementary app or wellness brand, you can look at what other wellness brand have used for their color schemes. Here you can see a brand that is related to beauty product. So we have colors that suit the purpose here. So there are lots of good online resources for color inspiration, and here are a few websites you can check out while you are deciding the style guide for your user interface. So these are the websites that I mentioned. Then I will send you the link after the session. So colors are a very interesting topic, and we can go on and on. But today that is all we have time for. We spoke about color theory and some of its application in UI. You have to always update yourself on the color trends in UI. If you wish to work in user experience or user interface design, so it is important to always keep researching and learning things every day. So that's it. Thank you for listening to me today, and I wish all of you best of luck. Thank you.